Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University, and in today's Marvel Superheroes Advanced role-playing game system, we are going to be finishing out our discussion on gadgeteering and hardware. And this particular subject is going to feature the final two segments, that is modifications, installation, and repair. I know it sounds like a window repair service, right? Well, let's go with that. Let's say you have a draft coming in your window. Now, you could move. Or you could replace the window, or maybe you just simply need to install a little weather stripping. Now that's seriously dumbing it down. Let's change this around a little bit. Let's say you've got a light fixture in your hallway and you don't like it. Instead you want a ceiling fan or a chandelier, for crying out loud, whatever you want. You're not going to replace the entire house. You're not going to rewire all of the circuitry in the house. No. You're simply going to pull that one down. You're going to take off the wiring. I would recommend actually turning off the circuit breaker first, and then you're going to put up the new one. Attach the wires where they belong, and then screw the thing back up, and you're fine. Now you've got a whole new light fixture. Try it out, make sure the wattage is correct, and you're good, you know? But what if you want to install a dimmer switch instead? What if you instead want to add a second light switch, a second toggle switch, so that now you could do the one here or the one down the hallway. So either way you're entering this hallway, you could turn that light switch on. All sorts of different things, but none of that requires actually building new items, right? This is simply modification. Okay, so, and also installation. So now, let's say you've got a device, okay? Let's say you've got your a car, okay? You've got a car, it's a nice race car, and it's got incredible 40 speed. But you're like, listen, this thing is really fast. I want to make it faster, okay? So you want to make the speed go from, let's say, incredible to monstrous. That's +2 column shifts. Well, here's the deal. First, you have to raise it to amazing. Then you can raise it to monstrous. Now, with modification, installation, and repairs, all three, you actually have to go in order. Okay? You have to go one rank at a time in order. So, the effective cost of what you're trying to modify to improve a certain stat is going to be the stat that you're looking for. And that's it. You don't have to worry about material strength or anything else at this point. So this is very helpful. You've already seen all the things about building and creating new hardware, robots, vehicles, weapons, whatever it is that you're trying to create. So what if you can't get it up to the level that you actually want it to be? Consider just making it cheap, making it on the cheap, and then modifying it later to improve its performance. Okay, so when we look at that effective cost, which is just one figure, you want to go from initially incredible to amazing. The effective cost is amazing, which means you're going to need an amazing feat, amazing reason feat, an amazing resources feat, and you're going to take 50 days to do such a thing. Okay, now here's the thing about that. I would recommend personally changing that up just a little bit. Most importantly, I would recommend changing up the monetary situation. Look, you've already got this device. Now, if you're able to build a robot that's able to do a small, functions like walk, okay, maybe you can build a wind-up toy. If you got, like, let's say a typical reason, a good reason, maybe you can fashion a little wind-up toy, okay? If you got good reason to excellent, all right, maybe you can actually make a robot that'll actually walk on its own using a power source, like a battery, okay? If you've got excellent to remarkable, maybe you're able to do a little bit more. Maybe you can make a robot that can also stop and pick something up and walk around with it. Like whatever. Every time that your reason gets a little bit better, whether it's through talents or just the base stat itself increases, there's more things that you're able to do. But there might come a level where it's like, okay, I need a free-thinking AI that can do, lots of cool things. Dance the Macarena, aha, okay? That might be a little bit out of your reason. With your skills, your talents, and everything, it's a little bit out of your range. So I understand the idea of using a reason feat. That's going to be a lot. You're just not able to get up to that level. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you partner up with a buddy. Hey man, I need your advice. I've got this really, dope car. It goes pretty fast, but how do I get the thing to go faster? And that person can help you out with the modifications that you need in order to increase the speed. And something with time. Time is exactly what it is, dude. Time is time. That's one of the big things that prevents people from just making something new in a couple of minutes. Unless, of course, you're spending a lot of karma and it's through kit bashing, all right, which means you've only got it for a very limited amount of time. But as far as the resources fee, that's the thing that always kills me. So I don't think that resources fee should be that bad. There should be some other way to do it. Let's say maybe if you're going from incredible to amazing, when you're up that high, maybe consider dropping it down to, -3 or 4 column shifts, honestly, because it's already at that level. What else do you really need to do? I mean, you want to make a car go faster, you get a file. You get a lousy file and file down those headers. Make those little headers that allow one spark plug to go in. Open that thing up to the size of a Dutch Boy paint can. Okay, maybe not like that, but you get what I'm saying. You file down those headers, make for more fuel to be able to get inside. Suddenly your car is going a whole lot faster, and all you used was a little 99-cent metal file. I don't see why reason fee, yes, to figure that out. Time fee, yeah, it takes a long time to sit there and file this stuff out, but why should it cost you resources as well? That's not acceptable to me. So you can make it that it's a minimum of good resources, but, and it's just a discount as you're going on. That would be my heartfelt suggestion, but it's your game. Anyway, if you're a player, though, have something to bargain with the GM. Okay, so let's move on a little bit more from this point. Let's say, so just remember that you can only go one rank at a time. So if you need that monstrous, hey man, you're at incredible, first hit that amazing, then you got to hit that monstrous. And that's acceptable, I believe. Okay, now, installation of certain things. Let's say this is a pre-existing technology. If you've got a totally awesome car and you've increased the speed on it, but now you want to install Gatling guns on it. Yeah. Do you really need to create the Gatling gun from start? No. I mean, unless you want some kind of a pop-up device that will allow you to allow, make these things pop up out of nowhere. It's just installation. Get some, get a welding torch and just, fuse the thing on and, I don't know, reach out and use it or tie some string to it. Whatever it is that you're going to do to try and make it so it's a toggle switch, a push button. Now, if you want to put a targeting system on there, that's something entirely different. But if it's literally just gluing the lousy thing on, glue would probably be like kit bashing. Yes, you can kit bash with modifications, okay? So if you need to do something in the field and just, I need to install this rocket launcher on the back of my car, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool, man. You can kit bash it if you need to do that quick. And then eventually it'll shimmy off, it'll break off, whatever. And then later you could just actually do it the right way. So you put the mounts down and bolt them in and get some, welding in there, an arc welder preferably, and just really get this thing done. So, yes, you can absolutely kit bash a modification. It'll shake loose after a while. But the idea is that a lot of times you're just simply going to be doing a simple installation of something, in Iron Man 2, the movie, when Rhodey had all these different guns attached to him and whatnot, for the most part, it's just welding a bunch of guns onto the guy and then putting a guidance. He already had a guidance system, attaching wires or a WLAN from that guidance system to each and every one of those individual weapons. That's really all that was. That's a lot of work, with the tech side, but not if you are, Obadiah Stane or somebody. So just consider that. The minimum cost, in fact, the average cost of a basic installation is typical. Okay, I would recommend bumping it up one column shift if you got something else cool about it. It's like, I'm going to also attach it to my targeting system. I'm going to actually make a little, hidden alcove, and then, the guns can pop up out of my car and fire off, just something along those lines. For the most part, typical is what the book says. I would maybe bump it up to good if it's going to be, something cool, You want to have like one of Captain America's rotating license plates, got 3 different license plates, and you can just switch them out, as you go on. Hey, man, typical. That shouldn't be too hard. Anyway, all those things being said, if you're going to be doing a new power that does not actually exist in our modern world today, like case in point, teleportation. Hey, there's plenty of teleportation in the Marvel Universe, but in our world, there is no teleportation. So anything like that is still a minimum of monstrous. All right? Okay, now let's move on to repairs. With repairs, you have to have a fixed location to do repairs. Okay, you could technically do on-the-spot repairs, but this is considered kit bashing. All right, so these repairs will only last for a certain amount of time. You'd figure like 1 to 10 rounds, and then suddenly if Tony Stark is far away from his repair facility and he gets his shoulder plate punched off, he could put it on there and he could do like some quick little fix. But for the most part, that thing is still going to be damaged. Like, okay, this on, I don't know how long it's going to stay on there for. Oh, the judge knows. He rolled the die for it. So you can say 10 plus 1d10 if you want, but the book says 1d10 rounds. Anyway, so moving on from there, assume the standard that it's not actually going to be something as simple as a field repair. You're not going to kit bash this. Same exact rule applies that you can only go 1 rank at a time. So if you got remarkable body armor and you get shot up and that protection gets reduced down to good, you can't go from good back up to remarkable. No, you got to go from good to excellent, then from excellent to remarkable. So the effective cost is once again going to be the level that you're trying to get to. So if you got your armor or your protection, your body from your car knocked down to good and you need to get it back up to remarkable, the effective cost is is excellent, so that you can go to excellent first. Then once you've gotten to excellent, now your new effective cost is remarkable. So the resources feat is the same, which I think is kind of unacceptable. What do you call it? It's my opinion that this shouldn't be the case, and I don't know what exactly you would do with that, but honestly, consider doing something else. The same resources for that doesn't seem very cool to me at all. I would definitely consider reducing that by a couple of maybe 2 or 3 column shifts, maybe even 4 column shifts, minimum of let's say good. Anyway, so for the most part, once you've actually got it there, you've also got to do the reason feat. Now, the reason feat is interesting because the amount of repair that you can do up to is going to be determined by the machines that you buy, the room that you buy, the room package that you buy for your repair center. So let's say you spend good 10 resources on the repair center. Okay, the maximum that you can increase your repairs to is good. So if Iron Man comes down there with his armor and he gets knocked down to typical, with that particular place, you can repair his armor up to good, but you can't go to excellent, remarkable, or incredible, or amazing, or whatever he's going to be at, depending on the particular armor. So consider that. You might want to get it up to incredible or something to that effect. I think that's about standard. Anyway, that being the case, the only thing that is really changed is the time. Repair doesn't take nearly as much time. So rather than days, it's going to be hours instead. So if you've got if you're going to go from good to excellent, then that's instead of 20 days, it's 20 hours. So just short of a day, and you can have your repair done. And again, don't forget, it goes by rank. So if it's good up to remarkable, you got to go to excellent first, then go to remarkable. So it's 20 plus 30 days. So 50 days total. So just over 2 days, and you can have all that stuff repaired. And that is pretty much the crux of what needs to be done here. I know, that's simple, right? So, wait, one more part. Your reason and the repair center both co-align with each other. So whoever's actually in charge of that resource, of that repair center, that reason is the reason that's going to be used. And then the reason of the repair center itself. and the maximum repairs can only go up to the person with the lowest. So if you yourself have a remarkable reason, but your repair center is up to incredible, you can only repair up to remarkable levels of repair. So consider that. All right. Use your talents. They help. They come in really handy. Also, for all of these, whether you're going to kit bash or not, repairs, you can also use friends. You can use a lab assistant to half the time. And you already learned about that in earlier episodes of the Gadgeteering. Guys, that is it. So I want you to keep on gaming. We're going to start doing some new stuff pretty soon. Okay. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.